Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Hello everybody in chat. Guys, I need to know something. What are you all doing awake? Okay, Carolyn, not you. You don't count. You're in Australia, of course you're awake. It's still nighttime. It's not in the middle of the night. Why are you guys still awake? I thought if I did my streams at 4:30, I wouldn't get anybody. But no, it's not true. We got a whole bunch of people still awake. Okay, you have insomnia. But yeah, it's 4:30. You can have insomnia till like 3. And then you're not old, Donald. Okay, if you just woke up, then that's fine. All right, it's 1:30 where Hope is. Okay. I would still be awake at 1:30, obviously. Okay. Listen. If you need to get to sleep, go to bed. Good morning, Carrie. Sleep is awesome. Sleep is really good. That's about right, Sarah. That's about 2 hours. No, Flossie. No. Jam Cracker, hello. I'm sad you're awake too. Go to bed. Oh, Lori, thank you. Hi, Tammy. Yes, you'll miss chat. That's facts. That's facts. I miss chat all the time, all day long. I'm like, man, Carolyn would love this. Flossie would love this. Oh my God, this is a story for Kelly, definitely. All right, let's see. What are we doing today? We got a bunch of stuff. So, all right, we're going to start off. This judge is so underrated. Hi, Shauna. I do not play him. You've seen him before. I do play him. I don't play him all the time. Yes, if you have a gun, Kelly. Yes. If Sarah's not here, we all will celebrate. Sorry, Sarah, I'm joking. Because it means she's having a marvelous sleep. Okay. This judge, Irie, is so underrated. He just really is. He cracks me up almost every time I see him. I should play him more because he's in California. So after all of my courts shut down, this judge and one more is still going at it. Oh, and the cage match judge too. But I don't play her much anymore because I think she has to give everybody PRs. I've seen a lot of cases go where they just really should not have been released at all. And I feel bad for the prosecutor because the prosecutor gives great cases like, well, this person should not be released because, they just did something very bad and then they just get released. So we're all talking about Steve. Steve, just turn around so you can't hear us. But this judge here from California, he cracks me up all the time. Watch this. This goes right over her head. Wait. I don't have the right screen on. I'm going to rewind it. That 1 second that we missed.
So, Ms. Clemente, what do you have?
Well, we're not receiving any payments yet. We have sent the wage assignment. Are you still at your current employer?
Mountain High Pizza. Are you still at your current employer? Is that what you said? I think the answer would be yes.
Okay.
Who is
it? I have Mountain High Pizza.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
That almost sounds like a marijuana dispensary type pizza place.
She said, are you still at your current employer? Well, if they're your current employer, then you're at them because they're your current employer. But she didn't no one understood it. I did. I was laughing the whole time. All right. So that's the judge I don't get much of. I might have one from him today. Let's go right to it. Let's just go right to it. Oh, I should tell you, I cut the whole first part out because it was boring. They went through child support case, and she won $900 a month. Okay, because he makes $8,000 a month. Hi, Elizabeth. So he makes $8,000 a month. He gets them 2 times a month. So she has them for the rest of the time. And this is what happens after he already said his judgment. It's over. It's all over. So here we go.
To address whether you're going to be able to get more parenting time, check the box to revisit child support. If you do that, then we'll have the hearing in the custody court first, and then when you're done there, they'll send you to see me on the same day, so you don't have to come back to court over and over again.
And then you said also for me, because I do all the driving every weekend, does not play a factor? Because gas is very expensive on a person that's spending the money on gas to go up and back the entire weekend, you know?
If I may. It's the weekends that he chooses to come that he has those gas expenses. I have the daily gas expenses for my son. You know, I take him to and
but that's what the child support is for.
Yeah, so I'm just saying in like defense of gas, like we're both contributing gas for our son.
No, but I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, but we also go half on everything that he has. We had documents that shows that I pay my half for everything he gets.
Well, you don't pay for half his diapers, do you?
Yes, I pay half for everything. When he needs something, I pay half.
That stopped a long time ago.
We have paper, right? We have.
Your Honor, if I may respond. At one point, I would buy things. I would buy his needs and then ask his father for half. When he and I were on decent terms, he would voluntarily pay that. But that stopped last October. That he was voluntarily paying. He stopped sending me any money for food to feed our son.
Hold
on, sir. Let her finish.
And groceries are super expensive right now. And then in terms of diapers and wipes, I would pay for it. I would ask, and if I didn't keep essentially, like badgering him for it, then I wouldn't get it. So I stopped asking. And so I just told him, you buy your own and I'll buy mine, and we'll just leave it at that. So to this day, his only voluntary contribution is his half for preschool, and he did give me $100 towards summer clothes.
Okay. So did you get a new boyfriend, or did he get a new girlfriend? I mean,
no. What happened in October was so last summer, I want to say maybe July and August, or possibly June, July, and August. I was trying to be nice, and I offered to meet him halfway because he was, voicing about the commute. And so what I said to him is, well, if you can consistently give me half for his living expenses, then I will try and meet you halfway. So I was doing that, but I wasn't getting consistently his halfer thing. So I stopped,
Okay.
And then he just stopped all the way.
Okay.
Well, that's not true at all.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change what we're doing here today, though.
But I don't have the right to seek my piece to help my case. Because I've
already made an order. And what you guys are talking about is just kind of explaining what happened in the past.
No.
Which
but
has
everybody going off my, excuse me. Sorry about that. Everybody going off my income. Like, I don't get paid that regular. I pay for school myself. I'm the only person out here alone that I paid for school out here for myself to make a better income for my son, to have my son have a better life for myself, right? So for him. And also I have to pay for my living expenses and everything else. And so my pay is it's not $8,000, right? It's going to go lower than that. They only got that because the principal that I know there is helping me out, knows I have to pay for school. So he bumped me up a little bit more to help me out so I can be able to afford to live, and also be able to pay for school as well.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And then also me, the only person out here by myself, I do all the driving, all the pay for everything out here. I do the groceries, I do it all, right? And then
when he's with you.
Yeah, with me. When he's with
Twice
me.
a month.
Also, when he's not with me, I still send my help. She
Well,
only
when
sent it
she
because
says something to you, she says she's not doing that anymore, though,
I haven't got
that's
anything
not true. I have.
since December.
other than the $100.
Other
Yeah.
than the $100 that he sent per summer.
I can't afford. Yeah, I couldn't afford driving out there spending $100 and something in 2 days just to go from there and back in gas, and then send money back to her for groceries on top of that, and then pay for groceries here again. That's $100 more of groceries here because he eats.
Because he eats a lot. I can afford to pay for him in, 4 days out of the month when I have him. But, the other 26 days out of the month, she can pay for gas and she can pay for food and everything. I have to pay for him the 4 days a month I have him, Judge. I have to. And I can't afford that. And I know I make $8,000 a month, but I don't really make $8,000 a month because I'm spending the money. And it's not really $8,000 a month because they just gave me that out of the kindness of their heart. They just gave me that and they're just going to take it away, I guess, soon. What?
I'm not asking you to give her half of anything anymore other than unreimbursed medical expenses.
Can we put it down to 800 so I can afford it, please?
Up to you, man. You're not.
I just want to get to afford.
You might want to stop talking so she can think about it and maybe decide to be nice. The more you talk, the less inclined she's going to be nice. Just understand that.
I just feel like even if I agree to that, I'm still in his eyes the bad guy. I will say to this day, I had no idea that he was making over $8K a month. I'm struggling here to even get $20 from him sometimes for things. So when I saw his reported income, I was very much taken back. And so,
Let me ask you this. He is doing Sir, what did I tell you? You can only shoot yourself in the foot if you keep talking. I'm trying to help you here, so give me a second. He is doing all the driving, yes?
Yes, twice a month. He only comes twice a month, sometimes once a month.
Okay, but it's still very expensive. So how about $875?
I mean,
It's your call. Let's say yes or no.
If I agree to that, will that even matter to him?
It would only matter to you. That matters. If it doesn't matter to him, who cares?
What?
No.
What's it going to be, boy? Yes or no? What's it going to be, boy? Yes or?
Hey.
That's fine. If that's what he thought,
So she'll agree to reduce it by more than $100 a month. Good luck. Okay. I appreciate it, by the way. Okay. All right, you'll get a copy of the order, sir. You're right. He doesn't appreciate it.
No. I'll still take it back.
Isn't that Judge great?
But
You're right.
I know better.
He doesn't appreciate it, but I appreciate it. He said, I appreciate it. He does that with all of them. So, he will give a judgment based on the calculations. And then if the man has a problem with it, if the woman has a problem with it, then he'll try to work with them for something, that's in the middle, to meet somewhere in the middle. Hi, Lucy. But he's great. He's such a great judge. He really is. And okay, so who was that? I think it was Hope that said if he lives in California, he probably does need $8,000 a month to live. So, maybe the rest of us, unless you're watching from New York City, I don't know. Hi, Stink Guy. I thought you weren't coming today. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, Hope said William. So I guess we just don't understand. The $8,000 a month is crazy a lot of money. Crazy a lot of money to the rest of us. Okay, what are we doing now? All right, this guy, he needs pertinent information. Pertinent. Wonder what kind of place I would get for $8,000 a month. All right, 25% of that. I mean, Laura's here because she has insomnia too. Sweetness is here because insomnia. So that's me. I'm an insomnia cure. Where the chat is. The chat is an insomnia cure. Let's get to some pertinent information. I can't remember what state we're going to. Maybe once it starts, I'll remember.
The constitutional rights that he has?
Colorado.
I've seen that, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. England, do you have any questions about those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. England, in 24M 1990, I'll find probable cause for 1 count of trespass. It's a petty offense. The possible penalties for that offense are a fine. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And then in 24 CR 2192, I'll find probable cause for the following charges. 2nd-degree assault, a class 4 felony that carries 2 to 6 years in the Department of Corrections with a 3-year period of mandatory parole. Menacing, a class 5 felony that carries 1 to 3 years in the Department of Corrections plus a 2-year period of mandatory parole. And criminal mischief, a class 1 misdemeanor that carries up to 364 days in the county jail. Do you understand those charges and those penalties?
I do not. Oh, what happened?
It'll change the icon as the active speaker changes, but she's still listening to you.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about with the.
Well, sir, I'm not asking if you know anything about the facts. I'm just asking, do you understand that those are the 3 charges where probable cause has been found and the penalties I just told you?
I was not aware of. What is it you're asking me to tell you yes or no to?
Whether you understand the 3 charges I just said and what the penalties are for those charges.
So I'm being charged with what?
2nd-degree assault, a class 4 felony, menacing, a class 5 felony, and criminal mischief, a class 1 misdemeanor.
When is I'm being accused of 3 crimes?
Yes.
That I suppose now I understand.
Do you understand the possible penalties that I told you as well?
It's no matter what, I go to prison, correct?
Not necessarily, sir. I'm telling you the maximum possible penalties for those 3 charges.
Oh, those are maximum penalties. What
Sir,
you read, I heard you say.
Sir, I'm not your attorney. I can't give you legal advice. I'm reading you
and
the
I'm
possible
very
penalties.
sorry that we're in this predicament that we're in, but you understand this is fairly pertinent information to me that I'm hearing for the first time right now.
Well, sir, it would have been, sir, I'm going to mute you for a second. It would have been helpful if you were in the video advisement room. You could have spoken to an attorney, but that didn't happen today. So all I can tell you are what the charges are and what the possible penalties are. If you'd like to wait, we can set you on the advisement docket for tomorrow, and then you can appear with an attorney. Would you rather do that so that you can ask some of these questions?
That won't change anything, I imagine. So I'd rather we just keep this thing rolling. I think would be the smartest thing to do. Expedite it,
Okay. So, Mr. England, you have a $10,000 bond set in 24 CR 2192 and a $200 bond set in 24M 1990. Ms. Blaha, are you asking to address Mr. England's bond today, or would you like to reserve?
Mr. England, would you be okay, given that it's currently set at $10,000 cash surety of property, with reserving bond until someone has the opportunity to actually speak with you to make better arguments for bond to be changed? We can reserve it for your next court date, and that way someone has time to talk to you, ask you questions, and make a more coherent argument to the judge. Are you okay with me reserving argument for bond for your next court date?
Yes.
Which is later. That's later this week.
That sounds fine. Thank you.
Okay, we would ask
So bond will be reserved in both cases. Mr. England, it'll be reserved for your next court date, which is June 7th at 10 o'clock in Division DST. So that's this week.
This week, that's fantastic. Thank you. June 7th at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I enjoyed that courtroom. You guys get it. You guys saying that dude's having fun spinning around. And the people in the back rows, it was full earlier. They were all handcuffed. And I wouldn't know, but it must be really uncomfortable sitting handcuffed. And they were all climbing all over. They were climbing all over the place. It cracked me up that whole hearing, but him the most. So you got him. Jill, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was very sweet. Thank you. Okay, now we're going. All right. We don't hear from this guy, which is unfreaking fortunate. You spin me right round. Yeah, maybe that guy was singing that song, Carolyn. Maybe, which is really unfortunate because I wanted to hear some of what he said. But we get to hear the charges, and then we can just imagine. We can just imagine the words he would say.
Similar to what we have here, a lot of threats, a lot of statements about firearms, about kidnapping the judge.
Yep, This isn't the first time, though, guys. This is not the first time he made threats about kidnapping the judge. Now, the next part, I don't know. It sounds like she's calling all of us out. All of us. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? This is you, guys. This is all you.
And kind of getting retaliation. And I think a lot of those statements were delusional beliefs relating to his incompetency. We did have multiple competency proceedings and contested hearings about his mental health status, but a lot of delusional beliefs about Mr. Orban being a detective, solving homicides, and essentially he would watch, kind of crime TV stuff and then interject himself into murder-suicide type stories. And then he believed that he was solving those crimes, and it was always related to weapons and death and murder. But there definitely were some colorable threats towards a judge in our district. We ultimately did get Mr. Orban restored to competency after some time. I am concerned that he's not stable right now, that perhaps he's not medicated, and does present a threat to society, presents a threat to his neighbors. My understanding is that he was supposed to be living back down in Denver under kind of the thumb of his family and some treatment providers. And I'm concerned now that he's back up here that he's simply not receiving that mental health care. So I do think that he's a threat to himself, a threat to the community. He does tend to suffer from extremely delusional beliefs. Again, fantasizing about murders or solving murders and threatening individuals. As far as other criminal history, he does have an FOJ from 2017. His most recent FTA is from 1975. But again, most of our bond argument comes from his lack of mental health stability. So we're asking for a $5,000 cash surety bond.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. Thank you, Ms. Dowdell. Ms. Bush.
Judge, I think the court is fairly familiar with, the way in which mental illness can manifest. And I would posit to the court that requiring someone to remain in custody because 7 years ago they had a mental health crisis is not actually a reasonable imposition of a bond here. It appears to me that when he pled guilty in that case, he successfully complied with all terms and conditions of probation, that he did everything that he was supposed to do while on probation, suggesting strongly to me that he will be able to maintain compliance with court orders in this case. Certainly, the court will order and should order that he give any firearms that he does have, if in fact he has any, which I don't know that he does, but that those not be in his possession or control. I think that non-monetary conditions of bond can, in this case, ensure that he is stable within the community. He specifically is very concerned about getting out of custody because he has his dogs at his home and no one to care for them. Should he remain in custody, I don't exactly know what will.
She said dogs. Now everybody in here wants him out of custody. We don't care what he did, Judge. He's got to go home to his dogs. Listen, Fozzie pulled up a link to the Discord. Go to the link to the Discord where you can be as delusional as you want to. Delusions of grandeur all day long in Discord, let me tell you.
Will happen, but I also know that, you know, in terms of disruption and stability, caregiving for an animal and keeping a pet alive is, you know, a mark of stability. I also would note that the court now is in the
I'm
position
very
to
stable then.
impose a personal recognizance bond because Mr. Orban will agree to work with a bridges liaison who can ensure that there's continuity of care, that he has the ability to call into court or appear in court as required. And again, without the possession and control of firearms, with a somewhat distant mental health crisis or illness in the past, 7 years ago, a PR bond here is appropriate with those non-monetary conditions, specifically that he give up any control of firearms and that he work with the bridges liaison. I know the court can't impose that as a condition, but he is willing to work with the bridges liaison. And so those two stability factors, I think, make a PR bond appropriate. He is, as I understand, fully retired. He does not have any financial ability to post bond at this point. So if he does not have a PR bond, which I would propose be in the amount of $5,000, he will remain in custody.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. I do have concerns about the risk to community safety, given not just the allegations in this case, which by themselves, I mean, this happened in the town of Fleischer. Grant County is a small place, but many people present, many people residing in the town of Fleischer, who reported the incident. More than one person reported the incident. It sounds like in multiple threats were made. That in combination with Mr. Orban's criminal history, which, albeit 7 years old at this point or thereabouts, is instructive, I think, on what's happening here or may be happening here. And so I don't think under the circumstances that a personal recognizance bond is appropriate. I am going to set bond in the amount requested by the people, $5,000 cash or surety for Mr. Orban. In addition, I am going to issue a mandatory protection order. And Ms. Dowdell, just one question before I
For all
do.
judges.
The people in their ROG have listed just one named victim in that request, Stephanie Brown. Are there others, or is that's the only one that will be listed as a protected party?
So Judge, at the time of filing this morning, that was the only victim information that I had. I do suspect that we may amend to add additional victims. I just don't have that information at this time, so we can request that be amended in the future if we add more charges.
Then that protection order will state as follows: that Mr. Orban not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts he is charged with committing, including Stephanie Brown, that he refrain from contacting or directly or indirectly communicating with Ms. Brown, that he vacate the home of the victim, stay away from the home of the victim, and any other location she is likely to be found. In addition, given the particular allegations here, I am going to order that Mr. Orban not possess, purchase, or control a firearm or other weapon or ammunition, and that he relinquish for the duration of this order any firearms or ammunition in his control or subject to his control, that he do so within 24 hours of his release, if he is in fact released on bond, and that he file a written affidavit with the court within 3 days of relinquishment, swearing under oath that he has complied with this order. Even, Mr. Orban, if you do not have any firearms, you need to file a written affidavit swearing under oath that in fact that is the case in order to be compliant with the requirements of the protection order. I will make the conditions of the protection order conditions of bond as well. We will need to reschedule this case. Ms. Bush, do you have a request on when we reset Mr. Orban?
Judge, is the court not appointing the bridges liaison?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I will appoint the bridges liaison. I'll issue the order that Ms. Allens be appointed in this matter. And then Ms. Bush, when would you like to come back?
Can we set this tomorrow, Judge?
Let me take a look.
That's today. Later
If
today.
it's useful, I can put it on the docket for 1:30 tomorrow.
I'm gonna try.
Ms. Dardell, would you be able to file charges by then, or is that too short of turnaround time?
They should already be filed, Ms. Bush. I'll double check that they went through.
Okay, thank
Complaint's
you.
been filed. I've got it in the file.
Then yes, tomorrow would be great. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, we'll put it on at 1:30 p.m. Tomorrow. That's June 4th. All right. That's all for Mr. Orban then today. Thank you.
And Mr. Orban, do you want me to?
Okay, I want to give a big shout out to Darkest Night. Thank you so much for the donation toward the computer fixture. Thank you so much. I will use that to get that computer fixed so that this doesn't happen anymore. I forgot that I had Discord on, guys. Sorry about the was I close? Somebody send me in Discord all of your Discord notification. Try to do it. Try to go and we'll see who gets the closest. I know I'm not going to get the closest, but that's fine. Everybody try to do in Discord. Yes. I don't think Darkest Night is watching right now. Sleeping. Thank goodness. But Darkest will watch on replay. I wanted to wait until most of you were able to get in here to thank Darkest for everything. It was very generous. No, you didn't. Prove it. You meant however I took it. Haven't you ever been in a relationship before, Fozzie? However I took it is what you meant. Poo box. That doesn't say poo box. It says P.O. box. Poo box. Poo poo. There are Amish everywhere here. It's not a joke. I'm telling you, there are Amish everywhere here. The horse was not hurt. I'm going to start with that, Carrie. Bought a brand new house way before my third kid was born. This was a long time ago, and it was on a bend. It was on a bend in the road, and the horse and buggies liked that bend too. And my sister came over 2 different times, and 2 different times we would walk out of the house because we heard a noise, and the buggy was like wrapped on top of her car twice. Twice the horse and buggies hit the car in that bend. The horses were fine. It was just the buggy that got all. I don't know if the people inside the buggy were fine. I'm telling you, the horse was fine. I'm sure they were fine because I don't remember ambulances or anything. But it was kind of hilarious because, I mean, you know, the Amish are very religious, but they also do love their parties. And they really, really love their parties. That's all I'll say. Okay. And their food. Ugh. Kidding me? We have this smorgasbord here. Smorgas, whatever. We have a buffet here. Right? Yes, the airbags and the buggies must have deployed. So they're fine. We have a buffet here called Shady Maple. If you ever go anywhere in Pennsylvania, go to Shady Maple and eat. You will thank me. Yes, the buggy was definitely speeding. Okay. This judge down in Georgia that doesn't like when you hear what happened, you'll understand. He just doesn't like the agreement that they came to. So he changes it.
There she is, Judge. All right, Gretchen, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Your Honor, this is State versus James Barney Sheffield. This is 2024 CR 220JJD. He is here for an open plea, Your Honor, on this case, and there are two other probation matters that I've discussed with probation. I don't know if probation officer is ready to go forward today, but essentially everyone's agreed that he'll be just revoking the balance on both of his probation matters. And so we'll present that to Your Honor as well. But in the 220 case, Mr. Sheffield is charged by way of indictment with one count of burglary in the first degree, one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree, and one count of possession of methamphetamine. Mr. McNeil, do you waive formal reading of that indictment and submit there's a factual basis for a plea?
Yes.
Judge, just briefly, this case was on for our trial shortlist next week. If the case were to have gone to trial, the state would expect the evidence would show that on or about October 5th of last year, Mr. James Barney Sheffield went up to the residence of Gretchen Long, who is present on Zoom today, Your Honor. He went up to her residence in the middle of the night, essentially, and stayed there for quite some time, approximately 2 hours. Now, Ms. Long had known who Mr. Barney Sheffield was because she had just moved in across the street from where he was living. She'd only been there about a week, and she noticed something a bit off about Mr. James Barney Sheffield, and that he would sort of watch her from across the street and make his presence known that way. And so this particular night, when she began getting Ring doorbell notifications on her phone that someone was standing outside of her house in the middle of the night, she eventually woke up after numerous alerts kept going off from the Ring doorbell. And at that point, she was standing there yelling at the defendant to leave her property. He did not, and he subsequently busted the door in to her residence. Now, when he made entry into her apartment, at this point, she was yelling at him to leave again, and he did not. She had her firearm, and she actually fired at Mr. Sheffield, but the gun misfired. And so law enforcement did respond. They located Mr. Sheffield across the street. And
do you think he realized he almost just died? Do you think that he realizes that? I don't think he realizes that. He almost died that night.
And he had methamphetamine on his person at the time. So he was arrested for breaking into her residence, busting down the door, and also having methamphetamine on his person. Judge, now as you can imagine, and I'll let Ms. Long speak to this, she has been terrified. She moved into a house a week later. She can't feel safe there. And that's stuck with her each time that I've discussed this case with her, Judge. The state filed a recidivist notice in this case. So if this case were to have gone to trial, I had spoken to Mr. McNeil about enforcing that recidivist notice, Your Honor. And so I'll come back to that in a moment, Judge, when I make my recommendation. As I mentioned, it is an open plea. But at the appropriate time, I will have Ms. Long address the court as well, Judge.
9 weeks.
All right, Ms. Sheffield, I'm holding here your petition to enter a plea of guilty. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it, understand it, go over it with your attorney and sign it here on the second page? Did you answer all the questions truthfully? Did you sign the document freely, voluntarily, and with a full understanding of what you were doing? You understand what you're charged with? Has anyone coerced you to enter a plea of guilty through threats, force, or promises? Are you now under the influence of alcohol or drugs? Were you present earlier when I told you the rights you give up when you plead guilty? You have any questions about those rights or about anything regarding your case? All right, Ms. Sheffield, then as to count 1, burglary, first degree, Count 2, criminal damage to property, second degree. And count 3, possession of methamphetamine. How do you plead? And did you in fact commit those offenses as you've been accused?
Yes.
I'm going to accept your pleas of guilty, find you guilty, and find that you entered your pleas freely, voluntarily, and with full understanding of what you were doing. Do you agree? Yes? Mr. McNeil, you agree?
I agree.
All right. Then I think let's do this. I'm going to let the state present any evidence they want to present in aggravation of sentence. Then I'll hear from you, Mr. McNeil. Then you can make your argument about sentence, and then the state can make the final argument about sentence. Does that sound fair?
Yes, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Jackson.
All right, Your Honor, this is Gretchen Long. She's the named victim in this case. Ms. Long, if you'll go ahead and just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you go ahead and lower your hand. And will you please state your name for the record?
Gretchen Long.
And are you the named victim in the case of
Watch her face, guys, when the judge gives the sentence.
James Barney Sheffield?
I am.
And go ahead and use this time to just tell the court how this has sort of impacted you and what you wish to see done with the case.
It's completely impacted my life. I haven't ever stopped thinking about it. Every single night I go to bed, I sleep with my gun in my bed. He had a knife on him. In the video, you can see it, that it was open. And all I can think about is what was his intention. If I didn't have the gun, what would have happened? I go to therapy for it. I mean, he lives directly across from me. And all I ask is that he stay in there.
All right, Ms. Long, thank you.
Any questions, Mr. McNeil?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
First off, Mr. McNeil, let me ask, you and Mr. Sheffield agreed to allow this witness to appear by Zoom, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Did you have any other questions, Ms. Jackson?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. McNeil, talking to the microphone if you don't mind. So
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Ms. Long. My name's Rob McNeil. I represent Mr. Sheffield. I just have basically one question. How long, Ms. Jackson said you were notified by, I guess, alarm or by your Ring camera that he was on the porch. Is that correct? About 2 hours?
Yes, my house alarm started going off.
And I guess how long was it from the time you realized he was out there until he tried to come in, or until he did come into your house?
I realized he came in at like 4 something in the morning, and it was probably 10 minutes of him trying to open the door, pushing hard on it, kicking it. It's when he started kicking the door is what actually woke me up, and then my house alarm on the door actually went off, and that's when I actually realized what was happening.
And I guess one final question: had you already called the police prior to him making entry?
I called them as he was still banging and pushing on the door.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Okay, ma'am. You can sign off or you can remain on, whichever you prefer. All right, anything else, Ms. Jackson?
No, Judge, that's all evidence-wise.
All right, Mr. McNeil, I'm going to turn to you and then Ms. Jackson, last word.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. May I remain sitting, Your Honor? Your Honor, while certainly, and on behalf of Mr. Sheffield, I'd certainly like to apologize to Ms. Long. It was certainly traumatic, and there's really, until you've been in somebody's shoes, you don't know what it's like. But I can imagine, though, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning with somebody banging. In fact, I've had cases like that where it happens. And I had a case in Gwinnett County where this happened, and essentially what happened, he'd been on a 2-week, Mr. Sheffield had been, he's been using drugs all his adult life. He'd just gotten out, he'd been in rehab, he'd been sober for how long? 2 years. 2 years, approximately 2 weeks before that, he goes on a tear, he's doing meth. That particular night, and that's why I was asking the question about how long he was out there, 2 hours. He has absolutely no memory whatsoever of this. I asked him, well, did you shoot at? She said, they say she did. everything I asked him was just, he draws a blank. He was obviously in a blackout. That doesn't excuse the conduct. I understand that. And it doesn't make it.
Well, that answers my question. No. I mean, he probably does remember it, but no, he does not realize he almost died. He really.
Any less terrifying for Miss Long, but I think it does explain his conduct, and I think it gives the court a reason to believe. I mean, he's 51 years old. One of the reasons I don't believe it was I don't believe he had any intention to steal anything or harm Miss Long, but you know. We're not going to test that before a jury, because he certainly, if he apparently had something in his hand and came in the door. So it would be easily to infer that, but I believe the evidence would show that he was basically, well, he was in a blackout, be the way. People can hurt other people in blackouts. I understand that it's dangerous, but I know Miss Jackson's going to, do you want to go into the recommendations or, at this point, or do you want me to give my recommendation?
Your time to argue what you think.
Okay. I understand Ms. Jackson's going to ask for 20 to do 10, and I believe that probation is going to ask that you revoke the balance on the probation cases he had, which they are. Okay. Going to ask you to do that, Your Honor. I think in this particular case, given the entire situation, the fact that he was out there 2 hours, did not know where he was at. I mean, he came in, and if I understand correctly, and Miss Jackson can, he walked in, and then when she fired or pulled the trigger, he slowly turned around and walked out. He doesn't, like I say, again, he recalls it. That said, Your Honor, certainly he's got to be punished, but I think a term of 5 years, he gets a first-degree burglary, he's going to serve virtually all of it. I think that would be more appropriate, followed by.
I just want to stop at 5 years, because the normal court cases we see, 5 years is a long time. Like that's a long time. So I'm sure most of us would be thrilled if he got 5 years for doing this.
I know there's some problem, but while he's there, be considered for REACT or I don't care if he has a REACT recommendation, that would be nice, but RSAT while he's in the DOC system. But I mean, you know, the root cause of all this is drugs. And he did something that put another member of the community at risk. He needs to be punished for it. But I think given his age, 2210, he'd be 60 years old before he'd ever get out of prison. So we would ask the court, we would think 5 years would be more appropriate. He's ready to serve it, and he wants to apologize. Well, did not intend to scare, and is very sorry that happened. That'll be my case.
Jackson.
Judge, I'm going to hand up my filed copy of the recidivist notice just so the court can see. One of the things I want to point to, and another thing that I took in making my recommendation in this case, Judge, was the egregious history that Mr. James Sheffield already had. So if the court can see on the recidivist notice, he, and I didn't even put everything on there, but he has 10 prior felony convictions. And this is not some one-off thing. This just happens to be super egregious in and of it.
Guys, Sarah is spitting fact after fact after fact after fact here. Everybody, look at what Sarah's saying. She's right. Everybody else is wrong. Sarah, everybody else is wrong, and you are right. Even though everybody else is agreeing with you. That's besides the point. We're not worried about that. Hi, Colin. All right, here we go. Now the prosecutor's turn.
Itself, on top of a terrible, extremely egregious criminal history. And this is someone who started out with burglary in 1990 and has not made one attempt to change his ways. You know, I hear about, we have no idea of his intentions. I certainly think I know his intentions on that night, Judge, after watching her for a week and then coming in the door with a knife. I'm just glad it didn't go farther than this case, and that Miss Long took action on her own part to protect herself. I mean, point is, Judge, this case in and of itself is terrifying for the community, for Miss Long, for really everybody, Judge. And on top of a 10 priors of a felony history, in addition to 2 probation cases that was in front of Your Honor, Judge, I was looking up the balances on those, and I know it's somewhere in my email. I don't have the exact dates, but Mr. McNeil and I had discussed it. I know that the last balance on one of them is 7 years. Probation would be asking to revoke the balance of both of those. And so that would be 7 years in and of itself. I am asking the court.
What do you mean your house was burglarized 3 nights ago? Lori, that's terrible. Guys, we all got to go over and sleep outside her house for a week. Make sure it doesn't happen again. That's horrible. That is terrifying.
To impose on the burglary count 20 years on probation with the first 10 years to serve in confinement. All the standard conditions that are normally imposed by the court, special condition of no contact with Ms. Gretchen Long or her residence, asking for restitution to be ordered in the amount of $1,440.46. There's been a restitution order presented to the court that has been signed off by the defendant as well. On the criminal damage to property, count 2, and the possession of methamphetamine, count 3, 3 years probation on each of those, Judge, concurrent to count 1. I'm asking the court to impose the 20 serve 10. I believe it's warranted given the criminal history and the egregiousness of this case, Your Honor.
20 serve 10, 20 years probation. 20 years probation. And then he serves 10 in jail first. That's what they're asking for.
All right. Ms. Sheffield, I've known you a long time. I've known you since your kids were little. And I think you were my barber at one time, years ago. Maybe once. I've also had you in court here several times for drugs, for violence towards your spouse, for various and sundry things. I think you've been to RSAP before. I think you've tried the accountability courts before. I think you tried residential before. And I don't think you're a bad guy, but you do bad things. And when you get on drugs, you do really bad things. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised at what the state recommended. I figured they'd be saying 20 do 18 or something like that. I don't think 20 do 10 is sufficient. I'm going to sentence you on count 1 to 20 years with 12 years to serve. Credit for any time you previously served, the remainder to be served on probation. You'll pay restitution in the amount that you've agreed to, which I believe is $1,440.46. You'll report to probation. You'll have the 4th waiver, provide bodily specimens for testing and waive evidentiary foundations. Have no contact with Gretchen Long. You'll not harass or threaten her. You'll provide records releases, undergo evaluation and treatment for substance abuse. Attend a minimum of 2 12-step meetings per week while you're on probation. Obtain a high school diploma or a GED and show proof of that at probation. Provide a DNA sample as required by law. You'll avoid using or being in the presence of alcohol or drugs, being around others who are under the influence or in possession of alcohol or drugs. Don't be in your residence or vehicle in which alcohol or drugs are present. Verify your prescriptions with probation. Be subject to a minimum of 2 drug and alcohol screens per month at your own expense.
No, Hope. They asked for and do 20 years of probation. The judge gave him 2 extra years. So he's going to jail for 12 years now instead of 10. And he still has to do 20 years of probation. Good job, Judge.
The direction of probation. Count 2 and count 3 will both be 3 years to serve concurrent. And on the 2 probation revocation cases, 15 CR 1008 and 11 CR 313, I'm going to revoke the balance concurrent, run that at the same time. And I'm sorry, but this is just unacceptable.
Fozzie has my picture now. What? Michael, hello. It's so nice to see you. You know that we are all immensely in love with your wife, right? You better, actually, Michael, you better step up your game a little bit because she's a superstar now. She's a superstar. And no, Michael, we haven't seen her. We would be all giddy and excited. She's off today. Let her sleep. Unless you need something. I hope everything's okay. You are typing in here, so it could be an emergency. I hope everything is okay. And we love your wife a lot. Everybody, Michael's here. Say hi, Michael. We are honored to have you here. Now you're a superstar too. And I hope, yes, I know it stinks. The courtroom is super quiet without her. Did you notice that? Do you notice that when she's not home, your house is super quiet? Yeah, she is. She's YouTube famous now. Thousands and thousands of people watch your wife every day. I mean, but we did chat with her at 10 p.m. in Discord, although we don't know where Lori Loves Law lives, so it could be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Australian Standard Time, the Dominican Republic, or Fiji. Mr. Victoria. Michael, you are now Mr. Victoria. All right. You can watch your wife Eastern Standard Time. So it's 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time now. She was in Discord at 10 p.m. last night. Michael, I hope everything's okay. We do. We do hope everything's okay. Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? Oh, guys, we need to make sure everything's okay first. Michael, is everything okay? You think she's okay? I'm leaving. I'm going to Texas right now, guys. I'm going right now. I'm finding her. Get her home nice and safe. Maybe Michael's at work early right now. And she just hasn't woken up yet. Because it's very, very, very early. That's a good idea. Oh, Michael's at work. Lori's going to try to Discord her on Discord. And if you want to Discord her on Discord, Michael, boom, there's the Discord. Oh, no, I don't. Hey, Cha. I don't want to go to the jury box in that courtroom. No, 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 no. Yeah, you know what, Kelly? Kelly, you're smart. You're smart. I'm not leaving Pennsylvania to go find Victoria when you guys are right there. Just go find Victoria. Excuse me, Todd. What are you doing awake right now? Shouldn't you be asleep? Listen, Austin is still closer than Pennsylvania. You can get to Houston faster than I can get to Houston. Memphis. I'm not going to sing. I almost did, though. Guys, we're supposed to be playing court videos. Michael distracted me. Michael, really was an honor for you to come in here. You don't know how excited you got all of us. We stopped playing videos. Thank you. I hope you have the best day at work. See you, Michael. Okay. Let's go with domestic violence. Shall we go with domestic violence, guys? Here we go.
All right.
Florida.
Your name, sir?
That Florida guy.
And your last name? Okay. All right. So Leroy, you're here in 24mm 100213 AA. One kind of back.
Let's just stop and take something in real quick, guys. We're in Florida. We got two guys on screen. One's really pretty bandaged up. And one's name is Leroy. Let's go from there.
Battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Leon, you're out on bond on battery, domestic violence, 24mm 403007 AO. You're here today in 24mm 100212 AA, battery, domestic violence. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender on your case. Leon, you're listed as the alleged victim for Leroy's case.
Leon.
Have contact with him?
Leroy.
Yes. You guys live together?
Yes.
You want him to come home?
Yes.
All right. Leroy, you're listed as the alleged victim in Leon's case. Do you want to have contact with him?
Yeah.
Do you guys live together? And do you want him to come home? Okay. State, do you have any questions for either of them?
No questions, Your Honor. Just argument.
Defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, what tell me.
Your Honor, that out on bond from Mr. Leon
Leon?
Jones, it's from 4/29, and that allegedly was his wife. However, reading the affidavit, the defendant was at his mother's house to fight his brother. So it appears he went to the house to fight his brother and ended up battering his wife at some point. The state is requesting you revoke the out on bond. It does seem to be a volatile situation.
Your Honor, defense will just point out that that's back from April. We're in June, no information has been filed. If you are inclined to revoke, I just ask that you revoke in double as opposed to holding him at no bond. Or in the interim, Your Honor, if you are concerned about the situation, to issue a no contact order.
See his history.
I have.
All right. On Leroy, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Contact. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. On Leon, I'll set his bond at $500. No hostile contact. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And I'm going to revoke your release in the case that you're out on bond. Let the judge assigned to that case determine what a reasonable bond is for you.
I didn't hear a lot of last names, so I don't know if they're brothers. One of them has a wife because the other, we're going to say brother, went over and got into a domestic violence match with his wife back in April. So they live together. One of them has a wife. They only said first names.
Anything new for Lumpkin? Your name, sir?
Yeah, that was an accident. We don't. but I didn't know what was going on there. And when I don't know what's going on, you guys don't know what's going on. Maybe Kelly nailed it. Yep. Let's get ready to rumble. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on. Okay. Now we're going to go to. Oh, it's time for Judge Fleischer. We did them all. Oh, that's right. I'm making a video with the other ones. Okay. Got a video coming out today. Fingers crossed. Time for Fleischer, guys. Here we go. I love his tie.
Good morning. I'm here.
Deputy Bates, do you mind hitting the on button on the sound bar? On the side over there, there should be an on button. All right, tell me something, Mr. Bates.
Please.
Mr. Birdar.
Yes, sir. I'm here. This is Mr. Brother.
Wonderful. I need you to please translate word for word, okay?
Sure.
Sir, in the middle. Okay, there we go. All right. So it's with an M.
Manasiya.
Manasiya.
Just so we know, I checked his channel today at night and there was no content on his channel. So I don't know if that means that he didn't start streaming on his own channel yet, or he did and he only has it up there while he's live and then takes it down. So I'll make sure that I go to his channel tomorrow and find out. Hi, Heather. I also have to apologize to all the New Jersey folks today because I did you dirty. You don't even know how dirty I did you. I got 2 more devices to record during the day. Androids, tablets. All I wanted to do is record, a little bit and then upload it, record it and upload it. And Androids have a special little thing that if you have to have the microphone actually on to record system audio. So all the 16 hours of New Jersey content, oh geez, cats. All the 16 hours of New Jersey content that I got today is all muted. All of it. And that stinks because I got some New Jersey people. They want New Jersey content. I had the judge from Nigeria and he was on fire today. And yeah, it's not great, Todd. Hi, Jackie. Oh no, someone from Jersey is on. Jackie, I'm sorry, but listen, I'm going to figure it out. I got it figured out. I'm going to go get 2 headphones. That way I can see if I have them both recording with the microphone on. You're going to hear the other one and the other one. So I'm going to go get 2 pairs of headphones, and that way you can't hear anything, and make sure that they're in a room where I'm not talking or snoring or, anything. And then I also want to say hi, thank you to one more person. Cassandra Welling. Thank you so much for supporting me on my Patreon. I really, really, really appreciate it. I just want to make sure. I just want to double check before I leave. I don't want to forget anybody. That would be horrible. Yep. So, yeah, guys, you can go to my Patreon for free. There's stuff on my Patreon for free. I got the goat lawyer from Australia there. I got extra bonus clips of Fleischer there. But yeah, you can go there anytime. I guess I should put a link up. I'm just going to put it in a banner because it's so easy for me. Boom. All right. Now that we got all the housework taken care of, we can get back to work. Oh, yeah. Actually, everybody who was a member last month is also a member this month. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. I really do.
Mr. Manasiya, you were charged with possession of a gambling device.
Mr. Manasiya, आपके पास gambling device थे आपके कब्जे में, सही है?
सही.
Yes.
We're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000 fine.
1 साल की जेल और $4,000 का आपको दंड होगा.
We're going to do probable cause.
अब वो ना आपका probable cause देखा जाएगा.
Have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
अगर आप खामोश रहना चाहते हो खामोश रह सकते हो. आप जो भी बोलोगे आपके खिलाफ जा सकता है.
Okay, remember to go slow.
On February 1st, 2024, officers visited the gas station known as the Fuel Express Circle M.
ये 2024 में गैस स्टेशन फ्यूल एक्सप्रेस में इन्होंने विजिट किया था.
located at 2005 Aldine Mill Route, Harris County, Texas.
ये इस काउंटी के इराद के मुताबिक आपके पास ये थे.
Officer observed 5 amusement redemption machines inside the gas station.
और गैस स्टेशन में 5 मशीन थे गैम्बलिंग के.
Officer recognized the amusement redemption machines through his training and experience to be 8-liner video gambling devices.
और उसके साथ अम्यूजमेंट के 8 राइडर्स जो ने वीडियो गेम डिवाइसेस थे.
Officers walked over to one of the amusement redemption machines,
slot machine,
named Pot of
skill
Gold,
machine.
inserted $40 of
और एक अम्यूजमेंट में जाके $40 डाले थे.
inserted $40 of departmental issued funds.
और जो $40 जो डिपार्टमेंट में जो दिए थे वो थे.
And selected to play the Touch Easy Keno game.
और उसके साथ में इजी पेनो गेम की लिए सिलेक्शन किया था.
It's legal
Also played
here.
a single bet of $2.
और फिर ने सिंगल बेट जो है $2 की थी सिंगल शर्त.
And won $21.
और एक $21 की.
And that was on a single bet.
और ये सिंगल बेट यानी एक ही शर्त थी.
This win was a device violation.
ये जो है ना कि डिवाइस का गलत उपयोग करना था.
Because the win was more than 10 times the original bet of $2 or more than $5.
हाँ यानी कि जो $2 10 मरतबा उसका उपयोग करना यानी $5 से ज्यादा गिने जाएंगे.
This win brought the officer's credit on the video gambling device to $43.50.
और वो हिसाब से उसको ना कि वीडियो जो आपकी मशीन थी उसमें $43.57 कुल टोटल था.
Officers played his credits down to $40.
और जो क्रेडिट थी वो $40 नीचे गई थी.
And press the cash out button on the video gaming device.
और जो ना उसका जो आउट बटन था वीडियो गेम डिवाइस का वो प्रेस कर दिया था, तोड़ दिया था.
Officer then stood up and walked to the checkout counter.
और उन्हें उसमें जो चेकआउट काउंटर वाला भी उसमें शामिल था.
And advised the on-duty attendant he was requesting to cash out the $40.
और जो ऑन ड्यूटी जो था उसको ना के $40 आउट करने के लिए कहा गया था.
The defendant cashed him out.
तो डिफेंडेंट जो आपने जो उनको कैश आउट किया था.
This gambling device did not meet the criteria.
ये गैम्बलिंग डिवाइस जो है वो जो नियम के मुताबिक नहीं था.
For exemption under Texas Penal Code, Chapter 4701, Sub 4, Sub B.
टेक्सास का जो पीनल कोड है 4701 एक्सेप्ट सपोर्ट से भी का उसके मुताबिक नहीं था.
Search warrant was executed on March 7, 2024.
और ये मार्च 7, 2024 को हुआ था.
During the execution of the search warrant,
और उसके जो आपका जो सर्च वारंट निकला था,
the defendant who paid the affiant, the officer, the illegal gambling winnings on Go ahead, interpreter.
Sorry, can you repeat your last conversation, sir?
The defendant who paid the officer the illegal gambling winnings
The president जो ऑफिसर को जो ने वो गैम्बलिंग विन को भेजा था
from February 1st, 2024
फरवरी 1, 2024 को
was on scene.
I miss Luis right now.
हाँ तो उसको बताया नहीं गया था.
Your Honor, may I respond briefly?
Let's just try to guess. Let's just try to guess what the punishment is going to be. I'm guessing 20 does 12 with 20 years probation. Come on, Judge. Don't do me dirty too.
I have two issues here, Your Honor. One, we have $40 in, $40 out. There's no winnings. Number two.
No. He put in $2 in and then he won 20.
He put $40 in the machine. He got $40 out of the machine.
ये बता रहे हैं कि 40 I thought he said he won, put in $2 and he won 20.
It says on one bet, but at the beginning, he says, I put $40 in the machine. I placed a $2 bet. I won 21. I played it down to $40. He cashed out. So he put $40 in the machine and he cashed out $40.
It's the win.
I understand. So I'm making my argument that he actually didn't walk away with any winnings. $40 in, $40 out.
Got it.
The other issue is there's no evidence of knowledge. Clearly, at no time is my client anywhere near the machine. He even says he had to stand up and walk over to the register. There's no evidence that he saw the screen, that he knew how much the officer put in, how much the officer bet, how much the officer won. There's no knowledge there that he was even anywhere near the machine and had an idea that the machine was malfunctioning.
Jury trial. Let's go.
Functioning?
Perhaps, we don't know if that's how it's programmed or if that was somehow the computer program wasn't operating properly at that time.
Well, I think that's something that we get forward at a later time. Mr. Manassi, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward.
नहीं ये आपकी प्रोबेबल कोर्स को फॉरवर्ड करने के लिए कहते हैं आपके वकील ने कहा कि उसको आपका नॉलेज नहीं था कि 40 डॉलर और 40 निकले आप उसके पास थे नहीं तो ये कहते हैं प्रोबेबल कोर्स को आगे ले जा रहे हैं ठीक है
Taser.
Okay. I'm not putting any conditions on your bond.
आपके बॉन्ड पर कोई कंडीशन कोई शर्त नहीं लग रही है
The only thing I'm asking you is do not get in any more trouble.
कहने मैं आपको ये कहता हूँ कि आगे कोई मुझे तकलीफ खड़ी ना करे
Sarah's a great lawyer and will help you out.
और जरा जो एक ग्रेट लॉयर है उसको मदद करें आप
I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court.
अब मैंने आपको यहाँ आने की भी कोई जरूरत नहीं है आपको कोर्ट में आने की कोई जरूरत नहीं वो मैं वेव कर देता हूँ
The problem was, I guess the law, if you gamble, you're only allowed to win X amount, like a certain percentage of what you paid in. And it was, what was it, $1 more than what the law says that he was allowed to win on one transaction.
But you must stay in touch with Sarah.
और मगर शीरा के साथ आपको टच में रहना है
She will tell you when you have to come back to court.
Sarah, you better get ready.
वो बताएगी आपको कि आपको कोर्ट में कब आना है
If she tells me that she cannot get a hold of you because you're playing games.
Sorry, my honor, can you repeat last conversation?
I will revoke your bond.
Good job,
Okay.
Sarah.
तो मतलब जो अगर ये पता लगा कि भाई आप इसकी बात नहीं मान रहे तो फिर वो आपका बॉन्ड खत्म करेंगी
For now, we will have you go to Ramona, sign a reset, and then you're free to go.
तो रेमोना के पास जाके आप जा सकते हैं वो आपकी अगली तारीख वो कर लेंगे सेट कर देंगे ठीक है
The machine had mouthwash. The machine had mouthwash. Listen, Judge, the machine starts work on Monday. He starts work on Monday, and the machine's grandma is very sick. So, I don't know. No, Fuzzy. The reason why he won is because you would lose all your money. Take all your money away. We've seen you play poker.
Oh, hi, can you help me out? Come on. Lopez Bucio.
So my owner now can this is
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mr. Biradar.
Okay, so thank you, my owner. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Jingle Services. Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Yo soy su intérprete. Buenos días. Conteste a voz alta.
Are you Jose Luis Lopez Bucio?
Yes.
You were charged with criminal trespass. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Judge, on May 27, 2024, officers were dispatched to 1919 Goodyear Drive, Houston, Harris County, Texas. This was in reference to a criminal trespass. Officers arrived at the location and found that officers had already arrived and observed two males running to a nearby fence where they jumped the fence and ran into a nearby brush wooded area in an attempt to flee from the officers.
Hold on a second.
There's two locations. The one on page 12.
Yeah,
Is this Jose?
yeah, Jose Luis. So
Jose Lopez, yes.
Sorry,
where was he?
this was at, it was a location, 1919 Goodyear Drive.
1919
Let me see exactly.
Goodyear Drive.
Goodyear. 1919 Goodyear Drive.
Is this a house? Is it? And then, was he given notice on a prior occasion that he's not supposed to be there?
I didn't screen, let me read through.
¿Cuál es su apellido?
He started over.
I don't remember. You have to tell
I'm
me.
gonna start over.
Was
Voy a
it
comenzar de nuevo. Dice
Mortal
fiscal,
Kombat?
On May 27,
el 27 de
2024,
mayo de 2024,
officers were
los
dispatched to
fueron pasados al
1919 Goodyear Drive,
Goodyear Drive,
Houston, Harris
Houston,
County,
condado
Texas,
Harris, Texas,
in reference to
en
a criminal
cuanto a un
trespassing.
trespaso criminal.
Officers
Los
arrived at the
oficiales llegaron a
location
la ubicación
and found that
y
officers had
encontraron que
already
los
arrived
oficiales ya habían llegado.
and observed
Y
two males
observaron
running
dos hombres
on the property
corriendo de la ciudad
to a nearby fence
a una
where they
cerca
jumped
donde saltaron
over the fence,
sobre la cerca.
ran into nearby brush wooded area
Was it Mortal
Un
Kombat?
área arboleada
in an attempt to flee officers.
en atento de huir de los oficiales.
Two defendants were
Dos
located.
acusados fueron ubicados.
Defendant
Dos
Gutierrez
acusados, el acusado Gutiérrez
immediately admitted to
inmediatamente
officers
admitió a los oficiales
he was on the
que
property
había
of the
estado en la
location.
propiedad de una ubicación de un sitio.
Defendant
El
Lopez
acusado
Bucio
López Bucio
admitted to officers that
admitió a
he
los
was on the
oficiales
property
que
at
él
the
estaba en la
time
propiedad en el
of
momento
this incident.
de este incidente.
Complainant showed officers video
Le
surveillance
mostró a los oficiales vigilación, videos
that clearly showed the
que
two defendants
claramente
on the property.
mostraron los dos acusados en la propiedad.
Complainant is the
El
manager of the
mandante es la
location,
gerente del lugar,
Iron Man Recycling.
Iron Man Recycling.
Complainant received alerts from the security
El
system
mandante recibió alertas del sistema de seguridad
showing unknown males were on the
mostrando
property,
hombres desconocidos que estaban en la propiedad,
attempting to steal
tratando
assorted
de
scrap
robarse
metals from the location.
metales
There we go.
del lugar.
Complainant stated the location was
El
closed
mandante declaró que el sitio
and
estaba cerrado
secure
y estaba
and that no one had permission
y
to
que
be on the
nadie tenía
property
permiso para estar en la
So this is in
propiedad.
the middle of the night.
during
Así
closed
que esto fue
hours.
durante las horas cerradas.
The exact time of this incident,
La hora
Your Honor,
exacta de este incidente, su señoría,
looks like it
parece que fue
Sorry, he's taking way too long. For those of you who don't understand what Fozzie said there, you get 99 free lives. When we would play video games, we only got 3 lives. That's it. 3 lives. Every once in a while we get bonus lives in some of the games. But you got 3 lives and then you couldn't play the game anymore. You didn't just keep going over and over and over again unless you put another quarter in. That was a little metal disc that we used to play video games. It was a quarter. It's money, but it was real money. It's not on your phone. You're welcome.
Looks like it left in the afternoon, 2:45.
Parece que fue en la tarde, 2:45. Mr. Lopez Bucio, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm not ready to, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause, but I'm putting more conditions on you and I'm not ready to at this moment. Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Judge
You're not
is
allowed to
mad.
leave.
But he looks good.
Judge, we have one forward here.
Okay.
Did
Sorry.
you say ay,
One
ay,
more.
ay?
Your Honor.
Just
This is Cody, I believe.
Grimes about 1:30. I'm good.
Shannon is here.
You speak English?
Yes, sir.
Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
No, sir.
So why are you in shorts?
We're bike to get here.
Okay.
I have pants if you want me to put on pants. I
No,
brought some.
I'm giving you a warning.
Yes, sir.
Please come in pants. It's a complete sign of disrespect.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna, so this is a co-defendant in that case? All right. And it's Shannon Joel or Daniel?
Shannon Joel.
Okay, Mr. Gutierrez, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. At this point, I'm gonna put a host of conditions on you. I'm not ready to yet. Take a seat for me in the jury box. Okay. Hey. Saved by the bell. No better way to get it worked out. Where is he? Come up, Mr. Wheeler.
You want me not to have someone come in?
Are they dismissing it now? So you did what you're supposed to do. They're dismissing your case. Remember this. In life, things can only go one way, or they can be turned into a really bad situation. The more criminal cases you pick up, the worse it is in life. You don't get as many chances as you may think. And I'm telling you, when you hang with dogs, you're going to get fleas. Stop hanging out with the wrong people. They're gonna only bring you down. You're still in school, right? You're in high school? Graduate. Go on to do better things. Stay in school. I'm glad that you got everything done. I didn't want to have to put you in jail. And today they're going to dismiss your case. So you won today. All right? Okay, man. Good job. All right. Take care, Mr. Wheeler.
Thank you.
All right. Good job, son. Hi. Please. Guys.
Pointed right at the camera for that one.
Will you tell me, Kevin, what time of day or night was this at that they were allegedly breaking into the scrap metal place?
I believe this was 2:45, Your Honor. In the afternoon. According to.
You told me it was closed.
Yeah, they were closed.
2:45 in the afternoon?
Yes, this was
This is closed?
Yeah, this was, let me see what day it was.
Okay.
Maybe that may be
Fair enough.
on May 27th. What day was May 27th? Memorial Day. Yeah, they were closed. It was Memorial Day.
Era Memorial Day.
It's probably more like 2, looks like they finished their report around 2:45. It's not as well exactly the exact time.
You know, Mr. Gutierrez, I'm gonna tell you now, with your criminal history, you scare me. Me asusta. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public, Mr. Gutierrez. If that means locking you up with $150,000 bond, I'm gonna do it in a heartbeat. I've seen your priors and it's one after the other, and they're all violent priors. I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm going to drug and alcohol test you like crazy. And if I that you're using anything, if you go within 1,000 feet of this, you pick up a new case, I'm gonna light you up. Do you understand? Tracy, I'm Mr. Gutierrez. No drugs, no alcohol. Random UAs, no weapons, no going within 1,000 feet of this location. What do you do for a living? Does that mean you do nothing all day?
Sometimes I probably work maybe 3 days out of the week for All-Star Roofing and Fencing.
Therein lies the problem. When you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive.
Yes, sir.
I'm now ordering you to get a job.
Yes, sir.
You must get a job. J-O-B. Do you understand?
We learned so much in this courtroom. Bless you.
I'm bringing you back here in 2 weeks, Mr. Gutierrez. I want you to show me what you have done to get a job. Do you understand me? I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today. And I'm going to tell you now, there's absolutely no tolerance for anything. You violate these conditions, you pick up a new case, you consume alcohol or any kind of dope, it's over. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you go to Ramona. I'm going to have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get Tracy ready with your bond conditions.
Yes, sir. I understand, Judge.
You're now out in the free world. I will take that free world away from you in a heartbeat. You start acting like a fool in it. You understand? Get on.
Right here.
Mr. Lopez Bucio, tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No.
No. In this country with or without permission?
Without permission.
Tell me,
Dígame.
what happens if you go to jail?
Well, they would deport me.
Right. The problem is, you will sit and wait in custody until immigration is ready to do that. And that usually takes about 9 months, if you're lucky. Not only that, Mr. Lopez, when you hang with dogs, you get fleas. I'm already.
Don't blame your colleague on all your Barbie dolls. Don't. We know you have all those Barbie dolls. We know why.
You now as a condition of your bond, not to be with this gentleman here whatsoever. You were lucky. If you went to jail, you were lucky to get out. Do not press your luck, because the next time you go to jail, if you were unlucky enough, you're going to be there for a very long time. Do you understand? I don't like to see people, go to jail, but I will do everything in my power to protect the public.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you do for a living?
¿Qué se dedica usted? Trabajo en una compañía metiendo pipa de agua. I work for a company that places water pipes.
Do you have an income?
Usted tiene ingresos. ¿Cómo? Like what?
You have a monthly
Usted tiene
income.
ingresos mensuales. Sí, Yes, sí. yes.
How much do you make a month?
Como al mes, como unos 2,200 más o menos. Per month, around 2,200.
You have children. Are you married?
¿Usted está casado? Sí. Yes, yes.
Okay. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, or did you want to go hire a lawyer?
¿Un abogado o usted quiere ir a contratar su propio abogado?
O sí traigo un propio abogado, sí.
But yes, did I?
No, ahorita no.
No, I got my own attorney.
Go get a lawyer?
Te va a ir a encontrar, va a buscar su propio abogado.
Sí.
Yes, está bien.
Mr. Lopez, do not violate these conditions that I put on you. Otherwise, you will go to jail.
No, ir a la cárcel.
No alcohol, no drugs, no going back to this place, and no hanging out with this guy.
Este hombre.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende? Yes.
I'm not asking much from you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Sherry.
No, that's
All right. We will have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get with.
En el papel dice que tengo que pagar $100 a la corte.
The paperwork says that I have to pay $100 to the
Y
court.
ahorita como fui en otra corte me digo también, digo, pues ahí les preguntan.
And since I went to another court, they said, you ask them over there where you're going, and there it is.
Is it the supervisory fee that's that much? No. Yeah.
Victoria, judge has a
Tony,
question.
Tell Mr. Lopez that I will waive the supervisory fee, that I will not be understanding if you endanger the public or if you violate these conditions. We will have you sign a reset. After that, you will get with Tracy for your bond conditions. And after that, you may go. When you come back, please have a lawyer.
Cuando regrese, por favor, tenga un abogado.
Sí, okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes.
Frente, por favor, párense aquí con que seamos alta.
Gracias.
Good morning, Mr. Gomez.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done.
Yes.
You must realize that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. If you ever get pulled over and you smell like alcohol or dope, you will come back to this court here. What we're doing today will not happen again. You will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? You, I would never get in a car if you've had alcohol. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. They will look up your history. They're going to immediately arrest you. You understand?
Yes.
You're giving up the right to a trial. Compel witnesses to testify on your behalf. Confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never undo this thing. You understand?
Yes.
You sure you want to do this?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Hablo no culpable. Guilty.
Did he not want to do PTI? I guess.
He thought about it, but no, he didn't want to do it.
Okay, all right, I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days, sir. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck.
Judge, did you say you were leaving early today?
I'm leaving, but I'm gonna come back.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back in like 40 minutes, like 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna be gone long. Okay. All right. This is Javier Rodriguez.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with interference with the emergency request for assistance. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. I'm assuming you guys have worked something out, correct?
Correct.
What have you guys worked out?
Time served, I believe it's 134 days. Correct.
And are we doing 130 credit for one thing?
134, yes.
Okay, so it's 130 days in jail, credit for the 134 days that you've done, Mr. Rodriguez. Looks like you have a prior assault of a family member from 2019. Is this true?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so true to the enhancement. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this, undo this, challenge this. It will go on your record. I see that they dismissed a felony, injury to the elderly. Is that in conjunction with this as well?
Correct.
Understand they can still refile that felony on you. Just because they dismiss it doesn't mean that they can't refile it. You go out there and start acting like a knucklehead when you get out there in the free world. So you will be getting out today. Be careful what you do. Be careful where you go. You go back, commit or be likewise you were, you could be right back in jail for another 130 to 180 days, perhaps even more. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the offense, or guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. I will send you to 130 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 134 days that you've done. Good luck to you, Mr. Arch.
Sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me
Good morning, Your Honor.
tell me.
I have 2 off dockets.
Judge, on this one, it was reduced to a class B.
Hi, Melissa.
So, you know.
You look so pretty today.
Okay.
Nuestra intérprete, yo voy a interpretar para usted. Jose Reyes Bejarano.
Mr. Reyes Berajando, you are charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense.
Cuando usted tiene el cargo pendiente de manejar intoxicado la segunda vez.
What happens if you ever smell like alcohol and get pulled over in a car?
¿Qué pasa si algún día hueles alcohol y te paran y hueles alcohol en el vehículo? ¿Qué pasa?
Tengo entendido de lo mío.
¿Cómo?
Tengo entendido de lo mío.
I have the understanding that it's a felony.
Right. Minimum 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison.
Sí, lo mínimo de 2 años en prisión hasta lo máximo de 3 años en prisión.
Ah, Tony. It's okay. Thank you for coming. Please. I would never, ever get in a car, even if you've had 1 beer, because you will be doing a lot of time in prison. They don't care whether you're drunk or not. They're going to see DWI, DWI. They will assume you were intoxicated, even if you're not. Do you understand?
Yes.
What are we doing here?
Judge, we're reducing it to a first criminal probation for 18 months.
The agreement we have now is 180 days in jail to be probated for 18 months. You will be doing a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. You must fulfill those conditions. If not, I'm going to put you in jail for a very long time. And if you're not here with permission, you will get an immigration detainer. Consider that. Next time you want to drink, next time you want to use something illegal, because it will affect your immigration.
Yes.
You will do a repeat offender DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels, substance abuse treatment, no breath test refusal. If you are pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath sample, you must do it.
Okay.
No alcohol, no drugs. You must have a guardian interlock as well. Do you have a Texas driver license?
No.
No driving.
No puede manejar.
You understand?
¿Entiende?
I don't care what is going on in your life. There's no faster way that you will go to jail than if I catch you driving.
Manejando. Okay.
Judge, the paperwork does specifically say a portable, but he's got a portable. I'm assuming that's all right.
Device. But I'm telling you, any issues, I will put you in a rehab facility in the jail. If you consume alcohol, that tells me that you have a problem. and I will put you into a treatment facility. Do you understand?
¿Entiende? Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So this is a done deal today. You can never come back and complain about this. I didn't know what was going to happen to immigration. I didn't know this, that. Once you plead guilty, you are stuck with it for the rest of your life. Do you still want to do this?
Todavía quiere hacer esto. Like,
You say yes or no?
he said, what?
Did you understand anything I said?
Yo le dije. Yes, yes, I did.
What did I just say?
¿Qué acabo de decir? ¿Qué acabo yo de decir?
Pues que me está diciendo que puedo pasar, si no subir en un carro, manejar o.
He's telling me that I could, that could happen if I get in a car, if I drive.
Si un policía me para, tengo que darle.
If a policeman stops me, I have to give him.
El alcohol, pues tengo que. Prueba de aliento, pues tengo que.
I have to submit breath tests. I have to give them.
As it stands now,
Según estamos
you do not have a driver's license.
No.
You do not have a Texas driver's license.
No.
You are not allowed to drive.
Permite manejar. All right.
Do you understand that?
¿Entiende? Sí. Yes.
Under any circumstances, you may not drive.
Usted no puede manejar. All right.
You may not consume alcohol.
No puede consumir alcohol. All right.
What happens if you consume alcohol?
Si consume alcohol.
Puedo estar en prisión.
Be in prison for a long time.
I'm going to put you in a treatment facility. In the jail.
En la cárcel, adentro de la cárcel.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
It is a minimum of 9 months in jail that you will do.
Okay.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende? Yes.
How do you plead to this offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Culpable, no culpable.
Culpable.
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. If there's anything you have learned today, Mr. Reyes, never, ever get in a car, even if you've had one beer.
That's a fair point.
Okay.
Going to suspend your ability to drive for a year.
So able.
You may not get into a car until you get a Texas driver's license and get court approval.
Okay.
Good luck.
Buena suerte.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I'm sorry. I was.
Stop. I'm happy you made.
We did it, guys. We made it to the end in under 2 hours for once. Okay, it's about 2 hours. We'll probably be here for 2 hours, but we made it to the end in under 2 hours. Yes, we did. That's called efficiency. Efficiency. I know other channels that give you 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 32 minutes. You got 2 hours here because I don't know how to stop. A 40 ouncer. I sell growlers, which are 62 ounces. That's one beer, baby. That's one beer. I'm only having one beer after work today. Don't worry. Yes, Cha, the end is here. Okay, for anybody who came to see the court videos, bye. Have a good day. Goodbye. Carrie, I will see you tomorrow. And I'm going to try to have no animals on tomorrow, Carrie, for you. I'm not going to promise anything, though, because I lie a lot. I don't. See, when I go on, all right, when I used to watch YouTube court videos all the time, it was on my television. So when there were short videos, I had to keep picking up my remote to find another one. So, oh geez. So I always looked for the longest ones possible because then I wouldn't have to find my remote because I keep losing my remote in between videos. But yeah, now I do long ones. I only try, listen, when I started 40 minutes, I tried to get 40 minutes worth of content because that would give me time to talk and make it under an hour, about an hour. But man, I get these videos and I can't say no to any of them. I have to give them all. And it's so weird that it's always almost 2 hours. You would think it would be all different times because I just get all different videos. But yeah, Sarah, not very many people know like how many ounces equals one beer. Not very many people drink 16-ounce beers in a bar, but one beer is 12 ounces. That's what it is. So if you're drinking a 16-ouncer, you're already over one beer. Yes. Thank you, Kelly, and the chat for all the laughs. And Hope, I would definitely try that. I really would. I would try that. Yep, 12 ounces. That's one bit. That's one beer. But how many ounces is the cup you're drinking from when you go to a restaurant, Sarah? Do you know how many ounces it is? I know in mine it's 16, and that's normal. I mean, if someone came at me with a 12-ounce beer, I would be offended. See, I need to go to Germany. Germany knows how people need their beers. Not that I know what a liter is, but half a liter sounds big enough for me. I always wondered why they bothered to ask you how much you had to drink as well. I mean, doesn't matter what you say. You say 1, you say 20. They're still going to do the tests on you. So there are things called mug clubs. And for our mug clubs, we don't have a mug club at our brewery, though I keep begging for it over and over and over again. But when you join a mug club, you pay a brewery or a bar. I understand that now, legal. Thank you. A pint. You pay the brewery or bar an amount of money and you get this special mug, which is normally a little bigger than the 16 ounces. So it's a 20 ounce, a 21 ounce, a 22 ounce glass. And then you go in and you can drink with your mug for cheaper. So you're paying the price of a 16 ounce when you're getting 22 ounces or whatever. And, people love mug clubs. Love them. I love mug clubs. So that's what I keep trying to get the owners to do. And Kelly, I believe you. I do. You say things seriously sometimes and I giggle. I can't help it. It's funny. I know you're serious. That's why I don't say anything, but it's funny too, Okay, so if half a liter is a pint, a little more than a pint, you're talking about a 2-pint glass. Yes, baby. That's what I want. Yeah, we can't do a mug club here, though, because I don't have enough room right here to hang them all. And then you have to come to me for a drink. And I can't play videos and serve at the same time. I probably could. I'm a very good server. Kelly, we don't make you mad, but do we when we giggle at that? We don't mean to. We're not trying to make you mad at all, not even a tiny bit. Oh, the eagle just hit us all right below the belt. Yes. Yes. Oh, good. If I make Kelly mad, I would feel so guilty, guys. Oh, yeah, Fozzie wants to make you mad, but that's fine. Guys, we're going into Discord soon, and I say this, and then like 2 people show up. Actually, I have an idea today. I have a Discord idea today that might work. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So, but aren't all the best people? Don't go to Journal Legal. Stay with us. I'm going to do something in Discord today, and it probably is not going to work, or it's going to work with like 1 person. That's a new one for me, so I have no idea. Someone tell me so that way I know. Why do bartenders slap a mint? My kid watches Bar Rescue with John Taffer, and saw that happen and asked why. So I'm asking for your kid. No, if I did strip poker, everybody would leave. Slap a mint. Yeah, Carolyn's not here, so let's do this. Why do smack mint? It's on Google. Why do bartenders smack mint? Okay. Oh, I didn't know what the word meant. So when you, when you're using different things in your drinks to make them taste better, it all depends how you touch these things, so a zest, you grind the zest. Well, there's these oils in mints, and if you try to if you crush it and try to put it in, it'll taste wrong. You have to do it the right way. So that is slapping a mint. I understand what that now. It makes perfect sense. That's exactly the good way to put it. Yes, it does. It releases the flavor of the mint leaf the right way. That's exactly right. You can't legally. You can't just ask the mint because it doesn't have ears. No, I think if you, so it's the way you do it. I think if you crush it so that it spreads, think of it spreading, that releases a different type of thing in the leaf, and then it's bitter or not yummy. You know what I mean? If you think about crushing it in what is that called? Guys, help me. It starts with P. It's right on the tip of my tongue. No one's going to help me. That's fine. You're just going to have to trust me. It is domestic violence, but again, it doesn't have opposable thumbs. Pestle. It doesn't have opposable thumbs to call police, so you're fine. Pestilence. See, I wasn't the only one. Pedestal was on my head, and I couldn't say pestle. The word escaped me. That's what happens when you turn old. Yes, love tap. Plant abuse is okay, again, because they can't press charges. Can't press charges. You're only wrong if you get caught. It's only against the law if you get caught, right? I get some comments over this one. I love mojitos. I need to go get a mojito. Okay, I'm about to do something in Discord. Everybody come to Discord. I'm going to see if this works. I don't think it will, but I'm going to Discord right now. Bye, guys. Behave. Okay, wait. I should run to the ladies. I'm going to be in Discord in, I lost my hand towel. The cats took my hand towel. 3 minutes because I have to go find my hand towel. Then I'm going to go to the ladies, and then I'll be right in Discord. Bye, guys. Be good.